What's going on, guys? Welcome on back to Matt DIY. So in today's video, I've got an interesting sort of how-to for you, and I'm going to be learning along the way as well. But I thought I'd make a video to help those out there who might be having the same issue as I am. So I recently did a brake job on this XC90 and ran into some issues with my parking brake. So if you're looking to adjust your parking brake or getting it to work because you did some work and now it's not working, not engaging, stick around for this video. So let me flip you guys around and explain what happened. All right, guys, so this is my 2010 XC90, and I went ahead and I did a rear brake job on it. And so I've got brand new rotors, pads, the whole nine. I also did the parking brake shoes and all new parking brake parts in there as well. So it's all brand new. But the issue I'm having is if I go in the car, okay, and move some of these parts I just took off. If I get in the car and go to push the parking brake, I can push it all the way to the floor quite easily, and it actually does not stop the car from moving. So if I put the car in reverse or in drive, it will still move, and the parking brake is not fully engaging. So that's the issue we're going to try to solve today. So if you did all that work and you pull the brake and it does not stop the car from moving, not good, especially in states like where I'm at, Pennsylvania. Got to get an inspection. The parking brake got to be working. Even though I don't use the freaking thing ever, it's got to be there for inspection. So got to figure this one out. So I think I have understood what the problem is, and there's one of two ways to fix it. One of which in there's an adjustment inside the car, and another of which I'm hoping we don't have to use, but I'll show you now just in case we do. This is an adjustment that goes inside of the actual parking brake hub itself. Now, when I originally did the parking brake parts, I put the new hardware in, put the new pads in, and I thought, oh, this is probably for a different model car because this, parts kit is applicable to a lot of cars. And I haven't seen these since I think it was the Volvo XC90 I had that actually had adjustable parking brake shoes back in the 90s. So it was kind of a shock to me to see these in there, and I thought, well, you know what, I don't need them, so I'm not going to put them in. And actually there's an H bracket, or H, whatever you want to call it, collar, H something. It looks like an H basically, so it's not this, but it's got these two ends and it's got an H in between. And that's what holds the parking brake shoes in there now from factory. So I just put that back, not thinking of anything. Well, after the fact that my parking brake didn't engage, I thought, you know what, something's not quite right here. And I started reading online, things like that. And it looks like these are actually adjustable to replace that H bracket, to expand the shoes a little more so that you can provide better contact with the rotors. Because apparently the newer rotors have a bigger diameter on the inside of the parking brake where the shoes connect. So when you replace them, they don't actually make contact. And this helps you put this in there to help you make contact with the actual pads to the rotor themselves. So I'm hoping I don't have to open up my brake job and add those. I'm hoping we can come over here to the car and make an adjustment. And I'm going to try to show you guys this. And let me see if I can get some lights on in the camera. All right, so we got some lights, guys, and I'm going to show you here. So basically all I did was I put the driver's seat all the way back. You don't have to take it out. At least I'm not going to. And then you want to remove the plastic cover here on the side, and it basically just snaps on with some snaps. I'll show you the back of it here. It's just, you kind of just pull it out. Anyways, if you look in here, you will see a black thick cable. And it is attached to a weird looking doodad with a clip right back here and the other end of the cable going back. And a lot of people online are confused on what exactly this is, and I'm not going to lie, it is certainly confusing, but I think I have it figured out, and I'm going to try my best to adjust this and tell you guys how it works. So basically, what you have here is, best analogy I can think is like a drill chuck, right? So this big piece right here is like your drill chuck. So if you take the clip out of the back and turn that to the right, supposedly it will loosen up this end of the cable, and then you can do your brake job. And then what you're supposed to do is put the clip back and turn this the other direction right up to the edge of the clip like it is now. So I don't really have to take mine loose. And then you can pull this side out in order to get more tension on your parking brake. So that is what is supposed to happen in a perfect world here. So before I go tear apart the rear end, I am going to try adjusting the parking brake right here. And mine looks like it's fairly pulled out already, so I don't know if this is going to work or if it's going to do anything. But supposedly this, you can put vice grips here, pliers here, and pull this out. And it's supposed to click as you do that, and it'll give you more tension on your parking brake. Now to me, that would seem like it extends it, making less tension, but apparently the more you pull this out, the more tension you will have. Let me go ahead and push it with my hand. We can see if this moves or anything. I don't think we're going to be able to see it because there's probably just a cable inside. Yeah, so you really can't see anything there. I guess a little bit, it moves a little bit. But that is supposedly the adjustment. So pretty much if your clip, sorry, it's hard to get in here. It's hard to even see the clip. Maybe I can pull this out. Not really. This is a clip right here on the back. If you pull that out, apparently you can turn this, which way would it be? Clockwise, turn this whole drum clockwise until it goes past that point to loosen things up. And then to tighten things back up, you want to turn it counterclockwise backwards, put the clip back in, and then snug this right up against the clip like it is now. And then you can pull this to increase tension on your cable. So hopefully I have more length to pull there. I don't know that I do. We're going to give it a try and see if I can tension this up before I move to the back where the H brackets are. But if I pull this and it doesn't tension up any, we will go to the back and mess with the H brackets, and I'll show you guys how to put in those adjustable pieces, and then hopefully we can have a working parking brake. But let's start here. I'm going to try to get the tripod set up, get you guys a good view of this when I go to pull it. But it is a very tough location to get to here, so bear with me. This is very, very difficult, harder than I expected. But if you look here, I was able to get it out some more. And I don't really know if there is more there to pull out. I'm guessing not, because I can't get any more out. It seems like no matter what I try. My best option for getting this out was to use about 6 wrenches lined up along each other, and then just use all those wrenches and pry against, and that is what pulled it out the easiest and the best. And it definitely tightened up the cable, but for me, not enough. I didn't mess with this back here at all. This was fine because I'm just trying to tighten it up, and so I messed with this, and it did not, I could not get it tight enough. So gonna have to go in the back and add those adjustable things in place of the H bracket, and then I should have plenty of brake. But that's where I'm at now. So I've got it that far and I can't get any more, so I'm gonna go to the back of the car. Alrighty guys, now we got down to the brake itself. So if you see right here, there's the H bracket, right, with the spring, and we're gonna replace that with the adjustable bracket like this, so that we can actually expand the pads a little further, and then we should have a nice tight brake once that's the case. And basically we will have this so where it's just loose enough for the rotor to spin freely, but when it's engaged it should grab nice and tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap that out and show you what it looks like. Alrighty guys, so here's what it looks like with the adjusters in place, and it does blow out the spring just a little bit, but it doesn't seem to affect it too much. So we've got that in place of the old H spacer brackets, and we can turn these to adjust the opening of the pads just enough so that they're not touching the rotor when it's on, but just beyond, or just a little bit less from where it's touching. Then we should have a nice brake. All right guys, once the rotor's on, you can take your screwdriver, fish it through here, and turn those fins until you get it to tight where the rotor won't move, and then back it off a couple to to where it'll move, and that's where you want it. And then we should have parking brake. Gonna put the tires on and give it a check. All right, guys, just to get you a little closer, once you have the rotor back on and everything, you're gonna be adjusting through this hole right here. And I don't think I can show you, I'll try, what it looks like. But if you look in there, you can kind of see, it's hard with the camera, but there's the notches are in there basically. So you're going to take your screwdriver, put it through the hole, and just notch by notch turn it that way. Hey guys, links down below for all the parts, the parking brake shoes, as well as those adjusters and the hardware kits. Links will be down below if you need that stuff, and we'll take you right to it. All right, guys, an important note. When you're adjusting the little, I don't know what you call them, but the little screws that you got to get with a screwdriver inside of the rotor, tighten them pretty dang good. Like, tighten them as about as much as you can turn that little thing with a screwdriver. And also make sure that you can't really turn the rotor by hand. I was using a screwdriver like down in the top of the rotor, trying to wiggle it. And when I had these tightened correctly, I could not really move the rotor besides just a little bit with a screwdriver. And that seemed to be where I needed to be for the correct tightness on the emergency brake. Because when you engage it, it doesn't move much back there. So I guess the rotors now are made to a different spec, and you have to fill that spec with those adjusters. And I just didn't have it adjusted quite enough, but now I do. Everything seems to be good, so we're good to go. I have a full parking brake. So guys, be sure to like the video if it helped you out. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions or concerns, or if you just want to, say what your experience was. I'd be glad to hear it. But mine was tighten the knees pretty tight back here, tighten that in the console all the way tight, and we finally have a parking brake, which is good to hear. So subscribe to the channel, guys, if you want to see more videos like this and Volvo projects and other projects. I would be greatly appreciative of you being here. And without further ado, guys, always remember to get out there, do it yourself.